Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the very first Skyrim election debate. To the left, we have the incumbent leader, General Joe Biden, representing the Empire. And to the right, Donald J. Trump of Windhelm, the leader of the Stormcloaks. Welcome, gentlemen. General Biden, your opening statements, please.
Well, ladies and gentlemen of White Run, I think the actions of my opponents speak for themselves. Jarl Trump's Skyrim first policy has been detrimental to our standing among the other nations within Tamriel. He repeatedly suggested that we should annex elsewhere, lowered taxes on the East Empire Company, and even encouraged his supporters to raid Solitude. He's an up-jump Jarl and doesn't have the qualities of a true king.
Thank you, General. Jarl Trump, your response.
Well, I think any true Nord can see that Skyrim has been going downhill ever since the Empire was put in charge. Every year we see millions and millions of Dark Elves coming across the border, taking our jobs, drinking our mead, and stealing our sweet rolls. We also see Argonian skooma dealers flooding our streets and Khajiit picking our pockets. Worst of all, he wants to take Talos education out of schools and force Nords to have a license for owning a crossbow. This country is broken, but together we can make Skyrim great again.
General Biden, we've already heard your stance on education quite a bit on the campaign trail, but not so much from your Stormcloak counterpart. Jarl Trump, what did you mean when you said, quote, restoration is not a valid school of magic?
Well, you know I said what I said. I don't know why we're spending millions upon millions training restoration mages when healing potions do the same thing. Maybe better even. My opponent here is trying to give your tax dollars to schools that already have plenty of money, by the way. Why would we pay for that when the ingredients for healing potions just grow in the forest?
This guy talks about health like he didn't let the vampirism pandemic ravage Skyrim by doing absolutely nothing to stop it.
Being a vampire isn't even that bad. It's like a mild case of rock joint.
You also defunded the Dawn Guard.
It was everyone's personal choice to wear garlic around their neck.
Okay, I think we've gotten off track here a bit. General Biden, you said that your opponent isn't fit to be the ruler of Skyrim. What makes you say this?
Well, on top of trying to cover up his involvement with a lusty Argonian maid, we also need to remember that he unfairly murdered High King Torrig using a dragon
Wrong.
shout.
That's all wrong, fake news. My duel with High Cuck Torrig was very fair and very legal. He could have used the voice if he got off his ass and trained with the Greybeards, who love me, by the way. The entrenched elite hate that they can't kill me, and trust me, folks, they've tried. Only last year they sent a radical Dark Brotherhood assassin to kill me. I also heard that geriatric General Joe was in the Thalmor files, which I'm going to show to the world when I win.
Let's move on. The average Skyrim citizen has become quite concerned that basic goods like iron daggers and sweet rolls have become more expensive. What do you plan to do to help those most affected?
Well, to start with, the Empire exists to help all her children, which is why we're going to lower taxes for lower income earners, no matter their race or religion.
Even Talos?
Nearly every religion.
Unlike my opponent, I think the people of Skyrim should be able to live free and without fear.
Tell that to the Dark Elves Matter protesters.
For too long has Skyrim been taken advantage of by the rest of Tamriel, which is why I'll build a wall to keep the Khajiit out and a giant moat to keep the Argonians at bay.
Khajiit can climb and Argonians can swim, you fucking idiot. You also said you'd cut off military aid for Cyrodiil as it's being invaded by Daedra.
We Nords are sending billions and billions to Cyrodiil, and the fighting never stops. I know the Daedric Prince of Destruction very well, actually, and when I'm elected king, I'll end this Oblivion crisis in 24 hours, you'll see. The general here lost to a bunch of elves, and he's trying to lecture us on war. It's just pathetic.
Trade with the Khajiit has been incredibly profitable for Skyrim. Yesterday, I saw that basket on head-related robberies had gone up 40% in Windhelm, but this guy seems to think that all Khajiit are inherently more likely to commit crimes.
Joe, what are the starting stats of the Khajiit?
Well, I don't think that's entirely relevant.
Answer the question, Joe.
It's not just the Khajiit that have a problem with my opponent's leadership. I went to Hammerfell last month, and they didn't like you either.
When I'm king, Hammerfell is getting a 30% tariff on all their stupid weapons. Curved swords, I mean, what even is that, by the way? Maybe it would work on a bent human like crooked Hillary Greymane. lame and stupid.
How are you somehow more orange than the Red Guard?
Our economy is suffering, Joe. Just last week, I heard a story of a guy who crafted 200 iron daggers of banishing, nearly crashed Whiterun's economy. Next thing you know, he was stealing the crops from a poor farmer and actually selling it back to him.
Well, that's just honest work for honest pay.
Getting us back on track. Scholars from all the Skyrim holds have become increasingly more concerned with reports of dragons flying across the countryside. What do you make of these concerns?
The dragon threat is real, and if we listen to our top mages and invest in anti-dragon defenses now, we might just have a chance of mitigating the worst effects of these dragon attacks.
You can add as many dragon defenses as you want in your Imperial cities, Joe. But in Stormcloak holds, we don't waste money on ridiculous fairy tales.
Helgen is a pile of rubble, you fucking idiot.
Dragon fire can't melt stone towers.
I don't even know what you're trying to argue right now.
I'm arguing that the threat of dragons is stupid. And honestly, I think we should be more concerned with General Joe's support of the Companions. This is a socialist faction, folks, with no leaders, and I even heard they accept people who are neither a man nor a woman.
What in the ever-living fuck are you talking about?
Werewolves, folks. I'm talking about werewolves.
If we're talking about friends, then I'd be more concerned about the Forsworn that you refuse to condemn.
Forsworn, stand back and stand by.
On the topic of factions, it's not exactly a secret that the Stormcloak city of Riften is a hotbed for the Thieves Guild.
Joe only knows that because it's where his son buys skooma.
Okay, we're getting to the end of the night, so I think it's time for closing statements. General Joe?
Well, Jack, it's simple. The Empire might not be perfect, but it stands for stability, security, and peace. Under my administration, we intend to extend olive branches, not steel. We'll be a united Skyrim, not a nation divided over petty differences. Skyrim as a nation can be defined in a single word. Afutafus Roda.
I have no idea what he just said at the end of that, and I don't think he knows what he said either. The choice should be perfectly clear for all sons and daughters of Skyrim. Skyrim is for the Nords, and no true Nord needs a big bad empire to tell us who we can and can't worship. Under me, you'll have the best jobs, the sweetest of sweet rolls, and as much mead as you can drink. Together, we can make Skyrim great again.
All right, that's a wrap, gentlemen. I'm just glad no one had a pro-Nazim policy.
Oh, fuck Nazim.
That guy's stupid and lame.
Who the fuck does he think he is?
I always go to the Cloud District.